You recorded? Check this out. I know I'm black, but Saturday, I'm coming to the party, yo. I'm
on. This is behind the scenes, getting ready for Saturday.
Vin Diesel has exposed the brutal truth about Diddy's secret parties. We know that CNN recently unveiled a shocking expose that has left fans questioning the dark side of Hollywood. Just weeks ago, the network released footage showing Diddy striking Cassie Ventura in a hotel, igniting widespread outrage online. The backlash was so intense that the music mogul was compelled to issue a public apology. Just as the controversy seemed to be dying down, CNN has reportedly released yet another leaked video, stirring up a fresh storm. The buzz on the street is that this video contains more damaging evidence that could potentially ruin the careers of Diddy and Vin Diesel. What exactly is this alleged incriminating evidence in the leaked footage? How might it impact the careers and reputations of Diddy and Vin Diesel in the entertainment industry?
You know he had Puerto Rican. You know he had Puerto Rican.
Hey!
Pa' mi pueblo, boricua, pa' mi pueblo, tú sabes todo.
Where we gonna be at? I don't know what you said. What you say? Say something. You know.
Disciplina.
Te amo mucho.
First and foremost, it's important to note that Diddy and Vin Diesel are known for their love of partying. If you were to compile a list of the top 10 celebrities who enjoy a good time, Diddy and Vin Diesel would likely rank in the top 3. Despite often playing tough, party-averse characters in films like those in the Fast and Furious series, Vin Diesel's real-life persona is quite the opposite. He is frequently seen at various events, enjoying himself with drinks and dancing well into the night. Rumor has it that the actor frequently arrives late to early morning set meetings, often exhausted from the previous night's escapades. When it comes to partying, few can match Vin Diesel, except perhaps Puff Daddy, now known as P. Diddy. Known not only for his music and business savvy, Diddy is also famous for his legendary parties, often described as wild and extravagant. Therefore, it came as no shock when CNN leaked a video showcasing the secret parties of Diddy and Vin Diesel. However, the situation escalated due to the video's content. Various sources allege that the footage shows Diddy and Vin Diesel involved in questionable activities. The origin of the video remains uncertain, though speculation suggests it was obtained from federal authorities. In March, Homeland Security agents raided Diddy's residences in Los Angeles and Miami, seizing numerous electronic devices, including laptops and cameras. It is believed that the video in question was among the footage confiscated from Diddy's residences and subsequently leaked to the media. Numerous viewers have characterized the content as disturbing and malevolent, likely the primary catalyst for the initial raids. Before dismissing these allegations as baseless, it is important to note that Diddy is currently facing a lawsuit, accused of non-consensual acts involving both women and men. Rodney Jones Jr. EOS lawsuit alleges that the CEO of Bad Boy Entertainment orchestrated an illicit operation with his associates. Jones claims that Diddy possesses surveillance footage documenting illegal activities and business transactions that occur at secret parties hosted in his homes. According to Jones, Diddy invites high-profile celebrities to these gatherings, entices them, and manipulates them into engaging in close activities with young men and women. He then allegedly records these encounters and uses the footage for blackmail purposes. One notable figure in this context appears to be Freedom actor Cuba Gooding Jr. While the lawsuit does not specifically accuse Gooding of being one of Diddy's victims, his actions have made him a significant suspect. According to Rodney Jones, Diddy arranged a meeting between him and Gooding under the pretense of helping with music projects. However, Jones believes Diddy's true intention was to facilitate inappropriate encounters between them. During what was supposed to be a professional meeting, Gooding allegedly began making advances by touching Jones inappropriately. The lawsuit details that Gooding fondled Jones's legs, inner thighs, groin area, back, and shoulders. It became evident to Jones that the meeting's real purpose was to introduce him to the Rainbow Club. However, Rodney was not interested and rejected Gooding's advances. Given Gooding's prominent status in Hollywood and the entertainment industry, it seemed beneath him to be the one recruiting men into the Rainbow Club. The only reason he might have agreed to such a role was if Diddy had some leverage over him, potentially in the form of incriminating footage of the actor involved in illegal activities. It's possible that Gooding was blackmailed into sleeping with Rodney Jones to fulfill Diddy's desires. Before involving Gooding, Diddy had unsuccessfully tried several times to seduce Rodney Jones, according to the lawsuit. Vin Diesel is a party animal who would give his life to attend some of the most outrageous parties in Hollywood. So what better way to trap him and hold sway over him than to get him to a party and hook him up with some underage girls? This is why I'm bringing all of these to your attention, so you can see how Vin Diesel fits into the bigger picture. You see, Diddy is alleged to have blackmailed Cuba Gooding into doing his bidding. I now agree that the behavior is disturbing, but it's worth noting that Vin Diesel has faced allegations himself. Several years ago, one of his former employees sued him for allegedly attempting to force himself on her during the filming of a Fast and Furious movie. CNN reported that the lawsuit stemmed from a 2010 incident in which Diesel's former assistant, known as Asta Jonasson, claimed Diesel forced himself on her in an Atlanta hotel suite and exposed himself to her. Court documents revealed that Diesel's production company, One Race, had hired Jonasson to assist the actor in various roles, including organizing events and ensuring she was present in photos when Diesel attended parties without his girlfriend, Paloma Jimenez.
So actor Vin Diesel has been accused of some pretty alarming stuff. Allegedly back in 2010, during the filming of Fast 5, he had a female assistant that he sexually assaulted. The story was he was in the hotel room with two girls that he was entertaining, and they left. And after they left, he tried to hit on his assistant, and she was like, no, thank you. And he went and grabbed her and forced her to do things that she was not comfortable with doing. And
according to the lawsuit, one night Diesel called Jonasson to his hotel room under the guise of needing help with something. However, upon her arrival, he allegedly made unwanted advances toward her, causing her discomfort. This is how the lawsuit described the sequence of events. One evening, shortly after Jonasson arrived, Diesel's security contacted her, informing her that he was not answering the phone but needed to leave his room at the St. Regis Hotel. When she notified Diesel, the actor pulled her onto his bed. According to the lawsuit, Jonasson told him to stop and struggled to break free from his grip. Eventually, she managed to run out of the bedroom toward the door. Allegedly, the actor instructed her to keep the door shut and then hugged her from behind forcefully, proceeding to touch her inappropriately. He then turned her around and forcibly kissed her, all the while attempting unsuccessfully to remove her underwear. Meanwhile, the assistant, distraught, continued to cry and plead with the actor to stop and control himself, but her pleas fell on deaf ears. Finally, she screamed and knocked the actor down and fled towards the bathroom. However, he overpowered her, pursued her into the bathroom, and cornered her against the wall with his large, strong body. She struggled to breathe and attempted to call for help, but her voice failed her. The actor then instructed Jonasson to touch his erect penis, but she refused, prompting him to masturbate until he ejaculated. The lawsuit proceeded as a terrified Asta Jonasson closed her eyes, trying to mentally detach from the mistreatment and avoid further provoking him. A few hours after the unfortunate encounter with the actor, Jonasson was dismissed by the actor's sister, who was the head of the company that had hired her. They did not specify her offense, but instead praised her for her time and work on the set. The message was clear. Jonasson was fired for bravely resisting Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel would be protected and his mistreatment covered up, as stated in the lawsuit. Jonasson felt helpless as her self-esteem crumbled. She questioned her own skills and wondered if achieving a successful career would demand compromising her body for advancement. The lawsuit seeks a civil penalty of $10,000 for each violation, along with unspecified punitive damages. Claire Lisa Coutelet, her lawyer, echoed sentiments long voiced by activists, pundits, and supporters, asserting, "No one, regardless of fame or power, should escape justice." She added optimistically, "We hope her brave decision to speak out will foster lasting change and empower other survivors." However, as expected, Vin Diesel denied all the allegations made against him by ASA Jonasson in a statement issued through his lawyer. The Fast and Furious star asserted that this was the first time anyone had come forward to complain about his behavior. Additionally, he pointed out that the alleged incident occurred 13 years ago, suggesting the possibility that the purported victim fabricated the accusation. The statement, released to CNN, quoted Vin Diesel as saying, "I categorically deny this claim in its entirety." Brian Fredman, Diesel's attorney, emphasized, "This is the first I've heard of this more than 13-year-old claim made by a former 9-day employee." The lawyer's words angered many fans nationwide because they seemed unsympathetic and dismissive. First, they argued that the timing of a crime shouldn't matter as long as it's within the statute of limitations. They pointed out that exceptions can be made for cases beyond this limit, citing the recent lawsuit by Cassie Ventura and 5 other women against Diddy for incidents in the 90s. Therefore, Vin Diesel's claim that events 13 years ago should be disregarded was seen as invalid. Secondly, fans rejected the attempt to discredit Jonas's lawsuit because of her short employment period as nonsense. They argued that criminals can act in brief windows of opportunity, comparing it to a baby clinging to its mother's bosom. They don't need much time to commit a crime. In fact, Diesel's team's response convinced fans that the actor was indeed guilty of the accusations against him. They felt the actor failed to present any evidence to refute the claims, instead offering weak excuses such as the timing of the alleged incident and the duration Asta Jonason worked with him.
Anyway, when she started working with Vin Diesel, she signed an NDA. That's a non-disclosure agreement, and it means that while you're working, you can't talk about anything that happened during that. But the state of California has just recently passed a law saying that NDAs do not cover any type of sexual assault, which freed this young lady up to be able to come forward and not only to tell what happened, but also to file a lawsuit against Vin Diesel. So we'll see where this...
Fans saw these excuses as reminiscent of defenses used by other celebrities in similar situations. For instance, when Cassie first sued Diddy last November, the music mogul denied all allegations, labeling them baseless and outrageous lies. He accused Cassie of attempting to extort $30 million from him. His lawyer, Benjamin Braffman, stated that Cassie threatened to write a book detailing her decade-long relationship with the mogul if he didn't pay. Interestingly, less than 24 hours after the denial, Diddy agreed to a court settlement of around $30 million. Many fans saw this as an admission of guilt, but his lawyer argued otherwise. Cassie's bold move inspired 4 other women to sue Diddy for similar crimes they alleged he committed against them in the 90s. Once again, the music mogul denied all accusations and accused them of seeking a quick payout. However, some of the lawsuits contain pictures of Diddy with these women and his friends in his studios. Now, I am not suggesting that Diddy is guilty, but I want to highlight a trend where prominent figures in Hollywood often provide weak excuses when accused of a crime. They tend to sidestep the main issue and instead attack the character of the victims. It seems they do this because they believe they can avoid facing the consequences of their actions. Interestingly, Jonason's lawyer noticed this pattern and stated in the lawsuit that the message was clear. Jonason was terminated for bravely resisting Vin Diesel's misconduct, while Vin Diesel would be shielded and his wrongdoing concealed. It is widely believed that the elite in Hollywood often escape accountability for their crimes due to their star power and substantial wealth. These individuals appear to possess deep connections within the justice and law enforcement systems, making it difficult to hold them responsible. Significant movements like #MeToo or numerous victims coming forward are typically needed to bring them to justice. They epitomize the darker side of Hollywood, where the affluent and powerful exploit the less privileged and vulnerable. Instances abound of these elite figures mistreating others perceived as beneath them, often without facing consequences. The likes of Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, and R. Kelly have eventually been held accountable, largely due to the sheer number of their victims. However, those accused by fewer individuals often evade justice by hiring top-tier legal representation. Many supporters believe the justice system favors the wealthy and powerful, requiring the disadvantaged to unite in numbers to have their voices heard. This sentiment seems reflected in the situation involving Vin Diesel. Apparently, Jonason initially lacked the resources and bravery to legally challenge the Fast and Furious star. fear of a futile outcome likely deterred her from pursuing the case for 13 years. Interestingly, her lawsuit followed shortly after Cassie's, suggesting Cassie's action bolstered Jonason's courage to come forward. Had Cassie not pursued legal action against Diddy, it's likely Jonason would never have felt emboldened to sue Vin Diesel. Fortunately, Diddy settled quickly after other alleged victims stepped forward, which bolstered Cassie's credibility. Sadly, Jonason seems to stand alone in her case. Interestingly, Vin Diesel's lawyer hinted that Asta Jonason might lack a viable case unless other accusers emerged. This insinuation suggests skepticism about her claims, implying that her solitary accusation might lack credibility in their eyes. Consider the glaring disparity in our justice system today. Imagine if these allegations were leveled against a top-tier actress. Would they be dismissed with the same disdain that Vin Diesel and his lawyer showed Jonason? This is precisely why her lawyer contends that no one should be exempt from the law. She argues that justice must remain impartial, avoiding any appearance of favoritism based on status, influence, wealth, or power. Justice should prevail uniformly, irrespective of a person's standing or background. Fortunately for Jonason and her lawyer, there seems to be compelling evidence supporting their allegations. The leaked footage, allegedly involving Vin Diesel and Diddy at undisclosed gatherings, potentially contains corroborative elements that reinforce their narrative. As previously highlighted, Diddy has a known penchant for documenting his parties extensively. Moreover, at least 3 plaintiffs who have filed lawsuits against him assert that he recorded them. Cassie, for instance, alleges that Diddy would intoxicate her and coerce her into intimate encounters with multiple men, capturing these acts on video. Subsequently, he would share these recordings with his inner circle, where they would reportedly find amusement. Another woman, Joy Dickerson Neal, also accuses Diddy of forcibly engaging in close activity with her while filming the entire incident. She claims to have become aware of the existence of the video through one of Diddy's associates. Additionally, Rodney Jones Jr. contends that Diddy compelled him to engage in activities with workers and then recorded these encounters.
Hello everyone. Until further notice, I would not be performing at any gigs or anything like that. For security reasons, my family, friends, and everyone close to me just feels like there's a lot of potential threats, and everybody's just telling me what he's allegedly capable of, and.
Based on the accounts of these 3 victims, it's evident to fans that Diddy enjoys keeping video records of his activities. It's reasonable to consider the possibility of a video documenting the actions of Vin Diesel and Diddy at their undisclosed gatherings. Given Vin Diesel's reported incident with Jonason and Diddy's controversies involving alleged victims, it seems these 2 men share common ground. Hence, it's plausible they have socialized together previously. For those unfamiliar with the happenings at Diddy's renowned parties, a few individuals have provided some insider perspectives. Last year, 50 Cent announced that he had ceased attending Diddy's gatherings due to his discomfort with what he witnessed. He subtly implied that Diddy's parties seemed geared towards something he wasn't comfortable with. "That's why I don't go to them puffy parties," the rapper remarked during his final lap tour in Europe. If skepticism arises due to 50 Cent's rivalry with Diddy and Jay-Z, consider the perspective of Mark Curry on Diddy's gatherings instead. During a podcast interview, Curry, formerly signed to Bad Boy Records, revealed his experiences with parties organized by Diddy during his time with the label. He recounted being cautioned that these gatherings might not suit his tastes, but attended a few nonetheless, where he witnessed scenes that deeply unsettled him. According to Curry, the parties featured distinct drinks reserved for certain individuals alongside regular beverages for everyone else. He described seeing scantily clad models serving drinks and administering pills to guests. And if that wasn't shocking enough, Usher had an even more unsettling story to share. When Howard Stern pressed the R&B singer about the type of parties they were, he wouldn't say yes. When asked if he would allow his kids to stay with Diddy for as long as he did, Usher answered, "Hell no." Years ago, the R&B singer talked about the wild parties Diddy organized. He claimed that some of the things he saw there were so wild that he didn't know if he could indulge as a 14-year-old. When Diddy's victims sued him last year, they all said they met him at a party and he invited them to his mansion, where he served them alcohol and made them perform dehumanizing acts. According to Rodney Jones, the music tycoon would even fly his private jets to gatherings and hand them out to partygoers. Based on these testimonies, it's undeniable that Diddy enjoys wild parties. The consistency across diverse locations makes collusion unlikely. The crux is this: both Diddy and Vin Diesel face serious allegations regarding their conduct with women in their social circles. Given these common interests, it's plausible they crossed paths at Diddy's notorious parties, possibly engaging in frowned-upon activities. Diddy, known for recording everything according to his accusers, might have tapes of these escapades. If such tapes were seized during a raid, they could potentially be leaked to the press. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.